Thinking about quitting tobacco? It's easier when you have help. The PA Tobacco Quit Line is ready with free coaching, medication, and more to help you quit for good. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW to get started. Or visit smokefreephilly.org to learn more about judgment-free support and free medications that triple your chance of success. The PA Tobacco Quit Line is free, it's confidential, and it works.
Hi, this is Christian Scott, and April is Jazz Appreciation Month. Did you know that as a young man, Louis Armstrong revolutionized American music? He almost single-handedly transformed jazz from an ensemble music into a solo art and taught other musicians how to swing and scat sing. And another thing that people don't know, that Louis Armstrong is actually responsible for the modern trumpet range. Before Pops came along, guys couldn't play notes like high C's and F's, but he stayed up there all day. So to give him his props, you should keep swinging and listening and supporting jazz. Jazz, born in America, enjoyed worldwide. For more information, visit smithsonianjazz.org.
Hey Philly, it's your favorite church girl, Kayla Jett, and I have a question for you. Do you know who your state senator is? Better yet, do you know what legislative district you're in? Did you know that there are 7 out of 50 senators representing Philadelphians in Harrisburg right now? The state senate is responsible for creating state laws, policies, and the budget. It's these people that control the minimum wage, protect women's reproductive rights, controls probation, and they created the plastic bag ban. They're elected every 2 years of a 4-year term, and this year they're on the ballot. Currently, Pennsylvania State Senate is made up of 22 Democrats and 28 Republicans. To find more 2024 election information, go to wordradio.com/2024vote. This is your word on democracy. Your vote matters. Our democracy matters. This public service announcement is brought to you by AARP.
Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that?
What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, family, hello there. Hey there. Welcome to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Happy terrific Tuesday to you. Thanks to Eric. I'm going to take that from Eric. Happy terrific Tuesday to you. I hope that you're having an amazing start to your week. I truly do. Family, if you are joining us by way of socials, let us know. Share a message, a comment or two on our socials, or give us a call. You know we love the love any way you care to share it. Call us and say hello. You can do so by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866 361-0900. That's right. So in the meantime, while I give you some time to check in, I'm going to share with you today's Black History 365 moment. Today's Black History 365 moment is about Richard Claxton Gregory, also known as Dick Gregory. Born October 12th, 1932, he was an American comedian, actor, writer, activist, social critic, and spokesman for health issues. His writings were bestsellers, and he became popular with his no holds barred comedy sets, poking fun at the bigotry and racism in the United States. In 1961, he became a staple in the comedy clubs, appeared on television, and released comedy record albums. He was at the forefront of political activism in the 1960s when he protested against the Vietnam War and racial injustice, and he advocated for human rights. He was arrested a number of times, quite honestly, once for attempting to eat at a segregated restaurant, and he went on many hunger strikes, protesting a variety of issues during his lifetime. He died at the age of 84 in Washington, D.C. in August of 2017. Family, that's today's Black History 365 moment. So I see that some of our family members are beginning to check in. Malcolm, I see you there. There's that message that I like. Malcolm shares that he's watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Hey there, Brother Malcolm. So happy to have you join us. And Eric is joining us. You see, Eric, I borrowed your Terrific Tuesday, if that's all right with you. And yes, I am enjoying this Terrific Tuesday. It is amazing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you. And he wishes the family an amazing Tuesday. Family, what we're going to do right now is we're going to get started, okay? Because in this hour, we have a love light whom I've known, I don't even know how long. I don't even know how long we've known each other. That's horrible. That's horrible. But we're going to find out when I talk with him. In any event, he's an extraordinary human being, an amazing man. And I'm sure you already know this, but I'm going to invite you to the conversation. Before I do so, I want you to know just who he is. His name is Fred Thomas Jr. He is the 7-time NAACP Theater Award nominee and winner of Best Director, Best Playwright, and Best Producer for his play, 12 by 9. He's an alumnus of Lincoln University, PA, HBCU, and Temple University, where he received his master's in film and media arts, and where he founded the Black Student Film Collective. He is currently starring as Detective Grover Kane on the new WeTV dramatic series titled Cold and Windy. I invite you to the conversation with none other than Fred Thomas Jr. Well, hello, good sir. I know, right? I'm gonna get my
that was wonderful. Thank you. How you doing?
I will not complain. Do you hear me? I won't complain. Fred, it's been so long.
I know, and I was hearing that you were saying how long. I don't know if you want me to tell how long. It's been a long. It's like teens, like young teens. Like, because it was one of them things where like we just know each other, started knowing each other from the neighborhood, and then just kind of as we got older, school and hanging out in the poetry sets and the concert stuff and it just spawned from there. So I actually can't say how long, because it's really you're like a childhood friend. So that's how long.
That's when you know you've known someone a very long time, when you don't have a clue.
Exactly.
I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. But that's called family. That's what it's called.
Exactly. That's
South Philly family. South Philly family. I have to make that clear. South Philly family.
Right. Okay, you do have to be clear because you've got family all over. So you do have to be clear.
Oh yeah.
We don't want anybody coming after you like, oh. We don't want that. So this hour goes by so fast, and I really want our family members to get to know you. And because you have such a large body of work, you're doing so much. I don't even want to say it in past tense. You're doing so much, and you have so much to your credit thus far. I mean, first of all, congrats, really, Fred. I know I said it offline, but congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Can you share with our family members first a little about you, your upbringing, where you were born, from where you come
Yeah,
from, that good stuff?
yeah. So, born in South Philadelphia, Jefferson Hospital, and grew up 15th Street, 16th Street, 17th, hung on 17th Street, 17th and Dickinson. Grew up 15th and Wharton. Yeah, all pretty much. Majority of my family are in South Philly, Manton Street and Annan Street and Wharton Street. Went to St. Rita's, went to St. John Newman. So I'm South Philly all the way. And yeah, that's kind of was my, my upbringing. Just being a little knucklehead kid running the street, playing in Barrett schoolyard, basketball, child schoolyard. Yeah.
So, did you always have an interest in the arts?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I probably started maybe around, I was probably about 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I was I was the kid who would dance at the barbecue. So, they had a little family gathering. Everybody throw the quarters down or some change. Your uncle go in your pocket, go in his pocket, put out some change, and you do the latest dance. And so that kind of was my start. And then from there, I used to watch a lot of Saturday Night Live when I wasn't supposed to.
I was
So
about
when
to say,
everybody
wait
go
a
to
minute.
bed, yeah, everybody go to bed, I'd sneak downstairs and turn on the TV, and I watched some Saturday Night Live, and I listened to and we all did this. I listened to a lot of Richard Pryor when I shouldn't have, but everybody family, back in the day you had the albums. So I had the
Yes, yes, yes.
Richard Pryor albums, so I had to put the Richard Pryor albums on, and I started listening to a lot of comedy there. But what I would do was I started I would make sketches and things out of either Saturday Night Live skits or Richard Pryor routines and Steve Martin routines, and I would
Wow.
make them. I would cater them for children, so for kids in my class, and I would go to school. And I would have a sketch like the night before Saturday Night Live, whatever it might be. And I'll bring it in on Monday and I'll write it out for a kid version. And the teacher, they would like it and they would let us put the skit on. And that's kind of how I started writing and directing. I didn't know I was writing and directing. I just knew I was just imitating, something I like and some funny people I liked. And it kind of started from there.
Wow. Well, listen, look at this.
Mhm.
Malcolm shares, yeah, I remember those Richard Pryor records. Wait,
Oh yeah.
I wish I had
Mhm.
those records now. I wish I had those.
I know. Classics.
Oh,
Classics.
what?
Classics.
OMG, the
Classics.
comedy back then. Oh,
Oh,
I
you
won't
wasn't
even.
supposed to be listening to it.
None
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
We can go
None
all day
of
on
it.
that. So,
I mean,
yeah.
Richard Pryor, Fred Sanford, Dick Gregory, like all of them. It was just
Yeah, Dick
like
Gregory as well.
pure
Yeah. Yep.
comedy,
Yep.
pure comedy,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
of course I had no business listening to, but I have family members who
Okay.
listened, and when you're a child, you do as you're told. You sit and
That's
you be
all you
quiet.
had.
So that's
It's all. Hey, I mean, it's better than some of the stuff they listen to now on the radio.
Oh my goodness, Fred.
So
Fred.
that's yeah. We'll leave
Facts.
it at that.
Okay, as they say,
Yeah.
that's all truth right there. So
Mhm.
I was sharing with our family members that you're a director, a playwright, a
Yeah.
producer. You're a right. Listen, and the list goes on. I mean, all of those in and of themselves they're different. They're so different.
Right.
How
Right.
do you maintain doing each of them?
Man, it's like you have multi like personalities. You live in like 19 people living in my head. But once again, it started when I was young. I love to act, so it started with acting first,
Okay.
and then when I was doing the sketches, or it was like if I wanted to shoot or see something, and let me not say shoot because back then we didn't really have video cameras, but
Mhm.
if I wanted to put on a play or something of that nature, I would just get kids together and just write something for them. So it kind of
Okay.
started with the acting, and it was the writing, and then I realized like, oh, this is directing when I'm showing someone how I would like them to walk from this space to this space and how they supposed to feel. So I started learning that way, and I went to the university, and I went to get a business degree first.
Okay.
And it wasn't working for me. I come from a blue collar family, so my dad was like, either you get a job, you either go to college or you get a job with the city. So it was one or the other. So I wound up going to college, but they wanted me to do something solid, and TV and film really wasn't, something solid. And I don't even really, I knew they that I liked and had an interest in the arts, but as far as like a career, they were kind of like, oh, them guys on TV, you sitting right here. So so you gotta, it was different back then, right?
Yeah.
So so it kind of started with that. But when I graduated Lincoln, it was like, I'm my own man now. I make my own decisions. I wanted to go with my passion, and my passion was writing, directing, and producing. So I got into Temple University to get my master's in film and media arts. Because by that time we had video cameras, so I started shooting stuff, little, music videos and stuff here and there, and realizing like, oh, this is each genre is a thing that I love to work in, and I can do separate and all together. And it kind of started from that. So people always say, oh, well, what comes first? What do you love? What do you love? I just love to entertain. I love to tell stories. So however it comes, if it's a story when I'm writing, it comes out. If it's something that if somebody else's work I see and it's like, oh man, I would love to direct that, I'll make an attempt to direct it. Or if something I want to be in, you audition all the time when you're an actor. You're always auditioning.
Right.
So
you have backstage.
I just
backstage.
Backstage. Backstage. Yeah. Backstage. So I just love performing and just putting on different characters and things of that nature. So.
Wow. Wait, Harry shares LU class of 91. And then he has a question for you. Before we get to the question, I do see here that brother Nasir is checking in. Nasir Butler shares peace and blessings with everybody. Willie, beloved Willie Matthew Williams, our love light from South Carolina, is checking in as well. Norma Gowan is checking in as well. And he says, good evening, everyone from Overbrook. It's an amazing day. He's sending love and blessings to everyone. Oh, Norm, we love you. He shares, I love this show. Harry shares, what was your nickname at LU? You a Kappa?
Yeah, I'm a Kappa. 35 years in, Lincoln University, Epsilon chapter. My nickname is Mutton. That's what everybody knows me as. It's actually my South Philly name because it's a family name. But
wait, Fred, you're muted. Wait, you got muted accidentally. You got muted accidentally. There you go. There you are. Yes, Mutton.
My Bluetooth.
Wait, he said yes, Mutton. That's so funny. We all know Mutton.
It's a childhood name that just stayed with me forever. Even to when I got into college, people knew me as Mutton. Like still some people don't even know my real name to this day. But that's how you know it's family. Because they call you Mutton. I've been knowing you forever. So yeah.
You say, what's up? You know, you already know. Harry shares, those were the good old days. We have just a few moments before we go to commercial break. So what I'm going to do right now is go to our phone lines because one of our family members, Ron is calling in. Hey there, Ron. Welcome. We've got about 2 minutes before commercial. Thank you for joining the conversation.
Yes, I'll try to do it quick.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yes, Ron. Hi.
Yes. Okay. Since you can, hi. First of all, Bill Barrett, sir, was one of the best politicians that ever came out of Philadelphia. I want to say all this in a capsule. And you, Cal, last night you cried. I heard you weeping. Jesus wept. And it's good to weep sometime because it's a cleanser for whatever going on in your life. And in your history story that you talked about earlier, I had a chance to address Dick Gregory, Trayvon Martin's mother and father, along with Jerry Monazine and many others at the Zion Baptist Church when that tragedy took place. And I was telling them about Dick Gregory and them about, to the youth that was there, this is your civil rights movement. For you young people that age, because they, could identify with them. I'm glad for the privilege I had a chance to do that. and they allow me to do that with Jerry Montesano and all them. And I'm looking at what's happening in Toronto today, and I think I'm gonna drop off for a little while because I'm going to go to my therapy, and I made my decision, not the medical people. I have made a recommendation to them what I need for myself, and I just hope that God will bless your need and come through that. It's nothing to do with anything of a surgery. But I know that if the Lord had brought me this far, and I have healing power, I use my healing power in what I directed them to do for me with my legs, I think I'll be fine. And remember, everyone, God give you thy health and strength. How you use it. And if you ask him, he can turn the tide on anything that takes place. So thank you for the time, and hope to see y'all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you as always. Thank you. Family, it's time for us to take a commercial break, but know that the phone lines, they will remain open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. We are talking with Mutton. We're talking with Fred Thomas Jr. in this hour. Yes, we are. So stay with us because we are coming right back.
If you're up late or traveling overnights Saturday into Sunday, then check out The Let Out. It's a new music show to help you relax, relate, and release. If you're not up late but need a smooth playlist to groove to, then check out each episode on Word Radio's SoundCloud page. Visit soundcloud.com/On Word and look for our playlist. That's The Let Out, Sunday mornings at 2 a.m. only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Summers in New Jersey were made to wow you. From sun and wows to fun and wows, chillin' wows to thrillin' wows. So come see what your wow's gonna be. New Jersey, it's one summer wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
The primary election is Tuesday, April 23rd, and we get to choose leaders who align with our values and priorities. Your voice matters in shaping our future.
If you have your mail-in ballot, please don't wait. Send your voted mail ballot back via the mail to one of our official mail-in drop boxes or one of our satellite election offices around the city. It must be turned in by 8 p.m. on Election Day.
Philadelphia, let's show up on April 23rd. For more information, visit vote.phila.gov.
I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of Progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
And we are back. Welcome back to Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Mutton. We're talking with Fred Thomas Jr. in this hour. I know you know exactly who he is. Family, I see you commenting, and I'm going to share some of those comments. Our love light, Miss Lily, is checking in, and she shares good evening, everybody. Sister Carol, Brother Nick, Brother Niles, Brother Fred, Brother Chris, and WURD family. I love it. I love light. And Malcolm, you know I was going to address that later on. I was waiting for everybody to come and join us. But Malcolm shares that he had to get out and vote blue today. He was a voter. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes. Eric shares, hey, Fred Thomas Jr., that is, thanks a lot for joining the WURD platform this evening. Can you share with us the inspiration for Broad Street Diner? Is it based on our Broad Street Diner? And are the characters real or fictitious?
Yeah, it's actually based on our Broad Street Diner. Pretty much, everything I write has some sort of Philadelphia sort of placement character. It could, even if it's something in New York, maybe the main character came from Philadelphia, has family in Philadelphia. But pretty much everything I write has sort of some Philadelphia based. And yeah, Broad Street Diner was basically created when I used to go to the Broad Street Diner in the mornings, and I'd sit there at the counter sometime. And a lot of the old timers would sit at the counter and they read their paper and they drink their coffee, and you just hear some incredible stories, man. Just like some really incredible stories. So it kind of came out of that. Just listen to the stories of these guys would tell, and then it's also kind of a ode to the seniors and elders in my neighborhood, my grandparents, the older folks I used to run to the store for. It's kind of ode to them. So it takes, the three main characters are actually three older African American men in the age of 70, and where 70 is kind of the new it's kind of the new 50, actually. You know, so yeah, so it kind of it's based off of the Broad Street Diner, yes.
You know, I'm listening to you talk about it. My mother used to go there. We used to go there together sometimes, but when she would say, "Yeah, well, you know, I'm on my way to go chat and chew," that's what she would say when she was going there.
Nice.
Chat and chew. So she would,
Chat and chew.
you know, that's what she was going to do. She was going to go, yeah, I'm not going to do anything but chat and chew. That's what she would say.
Yeah.
So that gave me a smile. Ayatunde is joining us. Ayatunde Garrett shares good evening, Carol and Mutton. SPZ all day, every day. He shares that my brother was a filmmaker taken from this realm much too soon. I wish he was still here because I have an idea for a documentary that I know he would have loved. Continued success in all of your creative endeavors. I love that.
Thank you so much.
And we're so sorry for your loss, Ayatunde.
Yeah, so sorry. So sorry. Thank you.
So, Fred, two things that I definitely want to touch on. Again, I said the hour goes by so quickly. So I want to make sure that I mention these two things. And I'm not sure which of the two came first, but if you could talk with us about both how the Black Student Film Collective came about and about the Whassup Guys commercials. You know, I have to ask about that.
Okay. Yeah. So the Black Student Film Collective came first. That's when I was at Temple. Okay. And the Black students at Temple in the film program at that particular time, we were kind of like, you know, we didn't really know each other. Like the undergrads and the graduates. Some of the graduates taught the undergrads, but we never really worked on projects together, and kind of folks didn't really know who did what. So I was like, hey, you know, there's a need for something to happen here, to bridge this gap. So I got a bunch of students together, and it started off with doing a film festival. So I said, well, let's try to do a film festival first and see how that works. And maybe out of the film festival, we can develop this organization. And that's how it came to be. And it's crazy. It's crazy because we were putting it together, and you know, they hit you with all these things that you got to do for the school. Like you got to have a chart. It has to be chartered, and you have to get an advisor, you know. And so I was like, oh man, who am I gonna get as my advisor? You know, of course we wanted somebody, you know, Black and whatnot. So I'm thinking, and my frat brother, his mom is Sonia Sanchez. So
who better
right. So I said, yo, man, you know, I'm gonna ask your mom if, you know, she wants to be an advisor, you know. So I went to Dr. Sanchez's office. I knocked on the door, and she said, come in, and sat, and I gave her the spiel and told her what we was trying to do. And before I left, she was like, I got you. And Dr. Sonia Sanchez became our advisor for the organization. So you was talking about, you know, give back and all that. I mean,
that's a divine orchestration right there.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I mean, like, she didn't, you know, I knew of her, of course, I knew her son, but I never met her. But once, you know, I kind of told her what we were trying to do right off the back. And then we had a successful organization, have successful run. We started working with each other. The grads and undergrads started doing directing and writing each other's films and acting in each other's films and bringing it over to theater people. And actually, the organization is still there. They just changed it to I think it's called the Black Media Collective now. But yeah, and that's how got it together and started it. But
wow.
you know,
Do you visit
needed.
at all? Do you visit the
I was there 2 years ago and I almost got lost because that's a brand new school. Like,
I know,
Temple
isn't it?
It's amazing.
I said, this isn't the temple I attended.
Nah. Well, at least you know where your money went. So your money went to good use. That's how I gotta look at it. Because they're doing it over there big time.
And it's beautiful though. I mean, it's
it's amazing.
I'm definitely
it's amazing.
proud. Definitely proud.
Yeah, definitely one of the top tier schools. You know, it's a lot of competition out there with these colleges, and Temple is like up there. And then right after that, literally, so with the Whassup thing, I graduated. So after I graduated, matter of fact, right before I graduated, my buddy Charles Stone the third, his father was the writer Charles Stone, who was a well-known journalist in Philadelphia. Charles called me and said, "Hey, you know, I'm doing this short based off of just, you know, how we talk to each other on the phone. And I need something narrative for his film reel." So he was doing a bunch of music videos. He had did like a ton of the Roots videos and he had did Public Enemy, but he didn't have anything narrative. So he came up with this concept based off of how we hang and talk to each other. We went up to New York to Paul, who went to Temple. He's the big hair guy. And we shot a short called True. And it was just, you know, guys on the phone just saying, you know, doing our own little spin on it, you know, how we greet each other. There was no beer in it or nothing. And that's so funny because I was actually working at Houlihan's at that time while I was in grad school. So Houlihan's on Sea Line Avenue. And I took the day off. That Sunday, I took the day off. Or maybe I told him I was sick. No, I took the day off. No, I took the day off, and I went up to New York to shoot the short just for him, and that was it. We walked away from it, ain't think nothing of it. We just did a favor for a friend, and then a year later, he called and said, "Hey, you know, Budweiser saw it in a short film competition, and they want to make it into a commercial." We were like, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "But the only stipulation is they want you to audition." I said, "Wait a minute. They want me to audition to play me?"
Right.
Wait, what?
Where they do that at?
So where they do that at? So we go to New York and we go to the audition and we're there and it's a room full of everybody. It's like it's multiculturals because they wanted to try to go a multicultural route. Sure. And you know, we're listening to the guys in the other room trying to sound like us, like yeah, you know, they sounding crazy, we laughing. So they bring the team in and we do we go and do our thing, and then the ad agency DDB Chicago, they're like, you know what, this is crazy, you know, we you know what we're trying to do, but the essence is not about race. It's about friendship. It's about the essence of friendship. And it shouldn't matter what color they are, because the essence of it is here. You know, these guys know each other because we were all friends.
Right.
They was like, you know, these guys know each other. So we got to go with the core guys. And that's how we wind up, everything just took off from there and just catapulted for the next like 3 years. It was crazy. Yeah. Went on tour and all kind of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, really, because we were seeing you all everywhere, and of course we were all saying it, so it was just
right.
So infectious. It was
yeah.
That speaks volumes about the bond that you all had. It speaks volumes about your friendship and the relationship that you all, like you said, you know, here we are. We just did this for our friend. He had this idea. Knock it out. And here you go a year later, and people are saying, okay, look, we're going to get these people to come in. They're going to audition to be you, to be all of you.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's funny.
Only Hollywood stuff, but you know, crazy. Yeah.
Funny. OMG. I want to share that one of our love lights, Michelle White, is joining us, and she's sending love to everybody. Anitra, another love light. Anitra Anthony shares. I'm so proud
big
of
sis.
you, button.
Thank you, sis.
And so the Canel Shanice. Proud of you, cuz. So proud of
Thank you,
you.
cuz.
Eric shares in response to what you were sharing about Broad Street Diner. That's so true, Fred. You can watch, listen, and learn and get tons of information in a popular diner for tons of
Yep.
movie ideas, kind of like a barbershop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And we have
Exactly.
movies about barbershops, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was reading, because you've done, like I said, you are doing so much and you've done so much. Talking about the Budweiser commercials, did that catapult, your interest, or what you would do next in the industry? Or
Mm-hmm.
like you said, I mean, you all went on tour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even know how many commercials. How many commercials did you all do for? Just
We did
off of that?
we did 17 commercials. Yeah.
17
Yeah, we
commercials.
did 17 commercials, and I think 3 of them never got shown because 3 of them were Bud was doing this battle with Heineken, and so after we shot 3 of those,
Okay.
they kind of ended the truce. So those 3 never got a chance to get shown, but it was 17 altogether. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was it as a result of the work you were doing with the Budweiser commercials? Was it as a result of that
Oh
you?
yeah. So made my move. So yeah. So well, this my plan was this. My plan was I was going to graduate school. So it was crazy because it almost happened like, excuse me, simultaneously. Because by the time I got the call from Charles and we did the auditions, and got the okay for the commercial, I was literally graduating from Temple, and I had my thesis film. I had shot my thesis film the year before, so I had that package, my short film, ready to go. It was called Shepherd's Story. I shot it in South Philly with a bunch of South Philly folks. Kashmir Goins, if you're listening, he was the star of it. Maurice Smith, Maurice Smith, another well-known actor. He's on Meet the Browns right now. So I was actually about to go to LA. I had saved up my little bit of money. I was working at Big Picture Alliance, which was a film production company in Philadelphia on Walnut Street, where we taught kids how to make films in different high schools. And so I was ready to go. And then that call came. So I was pretty much on tour for the next year and a half. And I was like, well, while I'm on tour, I got some time to kind of at least feel LA out and things of that nature. So that did catapult me to LA because I got to meet so many people on the road. I got to meet, I got to be out in LA and get to see and feel the terrain and see how the industry worked and realize it was so much more than what I thought it was. And and that's what brought me out there. Yeah.
That makes so much sense. It's interesting when you look from afar, LA, it looks massive from afar, but when you're actually out there and you're in it, you see just how much bigger it truly is.
Yeah.
How much, you just said, to your point, like you just said, there's so much more.
It's a lot to LA.
Isn't it? It's a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot to digest. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to navigate, if you will.
Because I realized I didn't know, like, what I thought I knew about film and TV. When I got out here, it was like, oh, okay, this is all the stuff they don't teach you in film school. Which I need to come out with a book called All the Stuff They Don't Teach You in Film School, because
you should.
Because what's so crazy is, like I said, I had my film with me, and if the commercial wouldn't have took off, like I said, I was still coming out there here. But my mentality was like, I was going to walk into a production company and I had my resume, and like if Spielberg resume is there and Spike Lee resume is there, my resume is there, they're going with me because I just got a film school and I got a film in my pocket. It don't work like that. No. I don't think I've ever gotten a job in LA off my resume. Come to think about it, the 20-something years I've been here, it's been like all connections and who you know, and then it's kind of like, oh well, then let me check your stuff out. Or I don't think
I always say it's about who knows you. It doesn't even matter who you know. It's about who knows you. Because you can know everybody. They don't know you. It's
Yeah,
about
yeah,
who
yeah,
knows you.
yeah, yeah.
Family, our beloved Miss Lily shares major kudos to you, Brother Fred, and to your friends. My cousin Sherry shares that she's checking in, listening from Atlanta. Hey, cuz. Hey, cuz.
Hey, cuz.
Juanita Early shares she's listening and follows that by sharing. So
Mom.
proud of you. So proud
Thank you,
of
Mom.
you. Finally, it's time for another commercial break. I know the hour goes by so quickly. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Stay with us, though, because we are coming right back.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
April is Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month. Parkinson's disease, PD, or simply Parkinson's, is a chronic degenerative movement disorder that causes problems with balance and control of movement. Parkinson's disease is one of the most common movement disorders, affecting around 1% of people over the age of 60 worldwide. Living with Parkinson's is challenging. Most Parkinson's programs focus on diagnosing and treating the physical symptoms of Parkinson's disease, including tremors, loss of balance and motor function, and trouble with speech. Penn's Comprehensive Movement Disorder Center aims to help patients and caregivers manage PD more holistically through palliative care. Palliative care is most common in cancer care, where providers focus on relieving the symptoms and stress of a serious illness. Many patients associate palliative care with hospice care, or making the patient comfortable at end of life, but it involves much more than that. Only a few such clinics exist nationwide. Penn Medicine's Comprehensive Movement Disorder Center is the only one of its kind in the Philadelphia area. The outpatient clinic provides assistance through planning advanced care and appointing a medical proxy while they are still healthy, processing complex spiritual questions about living with a chronic and terminal illness, screening for and managing mental illness like depression, which is commonly linked with PD, supporting caregivers and family members through support groups and other methods that help alleviate the burdens associated with caring for a loved one with PD. Visit pennmedicine.org for more information about Parkinson's disease, treatment, and resources.
Staying active and healthy as we age starts with strong bones. To keep your bones strong, you need calcium, vitamin D, and regular exercise. A bone density test called DEXA helps detect low bone mass and bone disease called osteoporosis. If you're 65 or older, Medicare provides free bone density tests every 2 years. Ask your doctor to schedule yours. For more information on how to be bone strong, visit pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
Tune in to Eagle Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eagle Word Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. In this hour, we are talking with Mutton. We're talking with Fred Thomas Jr. And I do want to share with you, Fred, that Shantae Anthony shares your experiences and your work history since college are beyond amazing and impressive. She shares, I'm so proud of you, Uncle. I remember being in one of your college films when I was little.
Yes, Shepherd Story, my thesis film. Yeah, my niece was in there.
I
Yep.
love that. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. And T Wright, we can't see the actual name, but T Wright 88 shares good interview, little brother. Hey Carol, love you both. Well, we love you both back. How about that? We do. Fred, before I let you go, because I do have another question from one of our family members, but I would love for you to talk with us about how your role as Detective Grover Kane came about.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna try to make it short. So there's a show that's on right now called Cold and Windy, and about a year, I guess a year and a half ago, I got a call from one of the producers who I had been working with on various stuff for the past maybe 12 years. We have a sketch group that we work together with, and they got this show, and he said, of course they're gonna be looking for some names, some stars, and the Idris Elba's and all of them. So I said it's all right, so it's all good, brother. He said, so if there is an opportunity that I can get you in front of the network, then I will do that. And that opportunity came. He called me and said there was a role, and he knew I would be able to do it, with no problem. And and I got that first season through and got the call, was like, yo, the network want to bring you back. And I was like, oh, word, all right, because people on the show was getting killed off left and right and all kind of crazy stuff. So what you do is you go, if it's 8 episodes or however many episodes, you go to the last episode. If you see you still alive, you're like, all right, I'm cool. I might make it to the 2nd or 3rd season. Oh my goodness. So yeah, when they said the network wanted to bring me back, I was super excited because I enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. So yeah.
Well, kudos to you in that regard too, because now here we are. We are familiar with you as a director, playwright, producer, now actor. I mean, just so much. The list goes on. So kudos to you. Thelma, right? Thelma, that do T, right? 88. Thelma, you already know that we're going to talk. Okay, you already know. I'm just putting that out there. You already know. And Maya Cryer shares, Dad, I love you.
That's my daughter. That's number 1 right there.
Y'all know I am one big teardrop, so y'all know. Oh. So Eric asks, if someone has written a unique idea for a movie script, what is the best way to submit it to get it reviewed? Great question.
Reviewed. Well, there's it kind of depends on what you mean as far as like if you want coverage. There's quite a few sites you can go to.
What do you mean when you say coverage?
Oh, I'm sorry. So coverage. So coverage is if you have a script and you want someone to read it to let you know that you're hitting like all the beats, that the story is flowing, that the story makes sense, that all the characters gel, that the main characters are standing out, that it's a cohesive story. You go and get coverage. And usually folks that do coverage, they call them readers at agencies. And then there's websites like Fiverr and there's another one I can't think of right now that will do the coverage for you. You got to pay a fee. You pay a fee, and if you submit it to an agency, if they don't usually charge you. They just, if they like it, they'll do it, and they may take it. If not, they'll just send you notes. But something like so you hire somebody from Fiverr and they can give you the coverage, but make sure that they're a professional person that knows what they're doing, that knows story. Right. Do some research, look at their resume, look at what they've written or where they went to school. To make sure that they can tell you that where there's holes and things of that nature in your script, because everybody can't. People say they can, and they just say, "Oh, I don't like that main character," and they don't even know why they don't like the main. They just they have no real reason. So make sure it's someone who can definitely give you a thorough overview of your script. Yeah.
How about that? Well, thank you for that. So can we expect this book from you? Can we add that to the list?
I wrote it down. I jotted it down. Yeah. It needs to be a book, a pamphlet, a flyer, or something. But these kids are leaving these schools. They need to be told it's a whole different ball game. I mean, the good thing about it is that technology has helped, because you can, you got phones and there's all kind of ways you can shoot. Yes.
To that point. AI. We were having a brief conversation about AI just a few short weeks ago, but when you just said that, it just the light bulb came on. In what ways can or will AI affect what you do, positively and negatively, if you don't mind?
Oh man, positively. We still trying to get to that part. So,
Okay.
because I've seen a couple things that's like, whoa, that's just like amazing. Um, you know, they AI can definitely get out some things faster and process some things and organize things faster for you as far as if you're writing a script or editing and things of that nature. Uh, the bad thing for me is it can do everything. It can it's even trying to like act. It can't act on stage, and and I and I hope people. That's why I hope people still go to theater, go see theater, go see plays, because the movie business, the show, it's a business, and it's about that bottom line, and I think you're going to see more and more things that's going to be AI produced because it's cheaper. But thank goodness for the SAG unions and the writers guild. So so AI can't write scripts for you. AI can't come up with these concepts and things of that nature, and or try to they can't replicate your face and your voice and things of that nature. So the unions are trying to do as much as they can to try to keep that from happening, but it can't touch live theater as far as I can think of. Can't touch Broadway, can't touch the playhouses. So the work still needs to be done there at the foundation where it was created from at the beginning anyway.
Yeah, like you said, AI can't touch life. It just can't in any aspect. In any aspect. Oh my goodness, Lady Alma.
Oh,
love life. She said, Freddie, what's up?
What's up? Wow,
Okay,
that's
we could
been a
go on
minute.
for hours about how much
We
I
can go
love
on for
Lady
hours.
Alma,
We can,
okay?
yeah, all day. Oh,
And
come
she
on, Lady
knows.
Alma. Come on. R&B, disco, gospel. Come on, we can go.
You name
all
any
day.
genre.
Any
Alma is
genre.
all
We can
over
go
it.
opera. You can go all day.
Whatever you pull out of your hat. Yeah. Okay. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Harry Wims shares LU has another Roscoe Lee Brown in the family.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Roscoe Lee Brown. LU.
I love it. So we have to look forward to seeing you on Cold and Windy, which is
second season.
TV.
And we shot second season. I just finished second season 2 weeks ago. I just got back from Atlanta and we did second season. So second season is going to be crazy. Like some of the older folks might can't watch it, but it's because my grandma, my aunts was like, I tried, baby. It's them kids, they into some stuff. It's a lot. The hippie, the hoppities, and the but I watch you. I watched you.
But I watch you. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So Fred, before you leave, first of all, thank you. I thank you with every fiber of my being for just coming to share, your time, your energy, your attention, your spirit, your knowledge, and your space with us. We're just so happy. I'm so happy that you came. We are happy to have you here, joining the family of love and life. What will you leave us with before you go?
Wow. Let me just say, just take care of each other. It's a lot going on in Philly. It's a lot going on everywhere. So I would say let's just take care of each other. Let's love each other. Let's appreciate each other. And just call folks, tell them you love them, and just be kind. Be kind, and that'll help go a long way because it's a lot of negativity out there. But we can combat all that with positive mindset, prayer, and just being good to one another. Just that's the best. Just being good to one another.
If you don't sound like me, OMG. Family, does he not? Oh, I say it every single day. Every single day. Fred, thank you, Fred. Just thank you
No,
so much.
thank you. No, thank you so much. And congratulations to you and all your amazing work. And we can talk about you. I can talk about you all day with the songs and the Will Downings and all the people, you know, and the Christmas album. We talked about that. I'm putting that seed back out there. I'm trying to get, hey, folks, every time, whoever's watching, every time you come on, type in Carol, where that Christmas album at. She has an amazing rendition of a Christmas song. If you haven't heard it, it's on the family Christmas playlist. Just leave it out there. There you go. But so take that with you.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you.
More than welcome.
My love to the family. Kiss the kids
Thank
and
you.
the wife.
Will do. Will do.
We hope to see you soon. Will you come back to join us again?
Yes, would love to at anytime. Anytime.
Thank you.
Believe
Oh,
it.
family,
Thank you.
stay with us. You know, it's Tuesday. So on Terrific Tuesday in our 8 o'clock hour, we talk with our beloved Chris Murray about all things sports. Fred has to leave us, but we're going to commercial break. Phone lines are still open. And feel free to continue to comment on our socials. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed on Evening Words.
Dr. Stephen Tyson, tell us a little bit about your role as City Year and what City Year does and how it helps provide opportunities for young people.
Most definitely. So, I'm a program director there. So we currently are serving 13 schools in the school district of Philadelphia. I oversee the programming of City Year at 5 of those schools. I have the academies at Roxborough High School, Kensington High School, Kensington Classic, I should say, Alany High School, Edwin Forrest Elementary, and Southwark Elementary. But we are also in 8 additional schools. And the best part about City Year, this is my 7th year here at City Year, and it's such a unique organization in the fact that we really do our best as a staff and as an organization really to pour into the professional development of our young people, specifically the young 18 to 24-year-olds that are volunteering and signing up as AmeriCorps service members to work with 3rd through 10th grade students in the school district of Philly.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds from Evening Words on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month is brought to you by Comcast.
What do you think happens to your digital footprint when you pass away? Who gets access to those social media accounts, your online bank, or that Netflix subscription after you're gone? There are a lot of things to consider right now about your digital afterlife. Will any photos be downloaded and saved? Would you want someone to take over your Facebook page? Do you have a hard drive where sensitive information is saved that someone might need to access? Some social media platforms allow you to designate what they call a legacy contact, but you should also consider the idea of a digital will. It works in a similar way to a regular will, but it will designate someone to be in charge of all your online accounts and provide them with login information and your instructions on how to manage those accounts after you're gone. It's not necessarily something we want to think about, but a little advanced planning for your digital afterlife can make things easier for the loved ones we leave here. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Hi, I'm Gary LaVox. One thing you know about me is I used to be the lead singer of Rascal Flatts, but what you might not know is I now use my voice to support paralyzed veterans of America. Did you know buses and trains are accessible, but airplanes aren't? It is why I support PVA. Today, PVA is fighting for accessible air travel, a basic civil right for our nation's disabled veterans and all people with disabilities. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. So join me in the fight for theirs at PVA.org.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4Word member with the annual membership price of just $90 or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4Word member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word or wordradio.com/membership. We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. I see you all in the comments. Alma, I'm going to get you. I'm going to beat you with a wet noodle. Carol, where's that Christmas album? I am going to share all of your love with Fred, all of the love that you all posted when Fred left the room. Thank you so much. You know, I just so appreciate y'all. You know, I love you. I tell you every night because I do. I mean it. I mean it. So you know what we do on our Terrific Tuesdays in the second hour? We talk with our love light. Yes, we do. Our own beloved Chris Murray. For those of you who are unfamiliar and unaware, he is a radio show host, an on-air personality, if you will. He is a journalist, a college professor with more than 30 years of experience as a print and broadcast journalist who's covered sports regularly since 1994. Yes, yes, yes. Throughout his career, he's covered the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NCAA tournament, the NBA playoffs, World Championship boxing, and that's just to name a few. On Saturdays, he hosts his own sports show right here on Word. Yes, he does. The Chris Murray Report. I stopped by this past weekend. Yes, I did. Where he combines a high-level intellect with eye-popping perspectives of all aspects of the sports world. Family, I invite you to the conversation with our very own beloved Chris Murray.
How doing tonight? Can y'all hear me well?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Well, hello there,
Oh
good sir.
boy, I'm doing okay. By the way, your hair is beautiful. I like how it's coiffed. It is.
Oh, it's
so beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. I gotta say, you know, see, you have hair. I don't have hair.
I'd have to say, well, I'd be wearing hats too if I did. I'd listen. I'd have a string of hats. I might have my own line if I didn't have any.
Well, the thing is, I don't wear. I just love the hats. I mean, I could go bald. I have no problem. You know, I'm not going to get those weaves like I see some guys getting. I ain't doing that because I don't feel like beating up my head. I don't feel like walking around beating up my head and everything like I see people. No, I'm not doing that. You know,
Chris, when I tell you, I just had a conversation about that today. I just had a conversation. Yes, listen. Now I know because we haven't talked about that, but I think that's something that we definitely have to talk about one of these nights. But men, just know that I'm a woman who loves you. I love you who you are. What is attractive to me is you loving who you are. You loving your own skin. Listen. Yes. You don't need any. Listen, please don't go out and buy anything that didn't come with you. Please don't. Please don't. Okay, that's just me. That's my very own opinion. You know.
You're right about that because I ain't doing that. I tell you that now. I'm just.
I don't want to miss the potato head. I don't. Okay, if you can't be comfortable with you, then you definitely won't be comfortable with me. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
And this is it.
You go.
This is it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is it.
That's why I say you look beautiful either way, but that's another story.
Thank you.
And all that. You know, I that's the thing. But I got to say, man, last night, man, about like that movie About Last Night. Man. I have a lot of emotions about that game. Well, not a lot of emotions, but I sat there and I watched that game. I'm thinking, okay, we got the game won. All we got to do is just hold out. All the Sixers got to do is just hold out, hit the free throws. But there's a lot of things I'm going to say about this. There's 3 things I want to say about game 2. One, the Sixers should have won the game. That's one thing. They should have won the game. And in the end, they'll have themselves to blame. Okay, they shouldn't let those guys get the rebound on the glass like that. Joel Embiid, from what I understand, did not have any rebounds in the fourth quarter, which is problematic. But all that said, though, the officiating in that game was horrible. It was terrible. And I'm not going to say that was the blame for the Sixers' loss. I mean, the Sixers, they should have defended better, but it was to a point to where Maxey was fouled on that play. He was, and but you can't let the team get back on you like that. You just cannot let that happen. And then Maxey tried to get the game-winning shot, which if he hits it, they win the game. And I mean, it's one of those things where you can blame, and you have every right. Fans have every right to blame, but you got to show some heart. And I think New York did show some heart late in that game, and they put the Sixers away. And I don't think the series is over by any stretch of the imagination. The Sixers can win 2 games. If the Sixers can win 2 at home and whatnot, then we have a series. And then they have to go back to Madison Square Garden to see if they can win that series. But the thing is, it's just, I mean, Jalen Brunson was great when he had to. A lot of those guys for New York played well. They crashed the boards. The Sixers Maxey played a monster game, 35 points. Joel Embiid scored 34 points. They need other guys to step up too and everything. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I left that game feeling kind of like, if I felt as a fan, you were upset because that was a game you should have won. Looking at it objectively, there were some bad calls, but the Sixers had to control that game. And I don't know why nobody set a pick for someone to get open. I don't know. It's unfathomable. And I think what happened was, Nick Nurse was trying to call a timeout. But as he was trying to call a timeout, Maxey got bum rushed and he got fouled. There was no calls. It was so bad that I think Nick Nurse filed a grievance with the league. And
oh, really?
Yeah, he did. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's not going to erase the loss, but it's not going to erase the loss in this game at all. But you never want games to ever come down to officiating. There's going to be some bad calls, and it just seemed like when Brunson hit that one shot, the ball bounced up and down the rim, and it went right in. And that's one of those things where sometimes sometimes the sun shines on a dog's rear end every so often and whatnot. And sometimes it just happened. Even worse, you had Spike Lee and Stephen A. Smith, especially Spike Lee, talking, and the thing is, see that's the thing. And I guess, it's almost as if, I don't know, like, I grew up in Baltimore, and we used to hate it when we lost, anytime we lost to DC or Washington at anything, because there's this sort of highbrow, high ball arrogance, we drink our tea with pinkies and all that because they're from DC. There. And I get the feeling, that that's New York and Philadelphia. There's this sort of New York arrogance that that when your teams are playing, you hate to lose to them. It's like the Yankees when they won the World Series here. It's just it's just like, nah, man. And if you're a Phillies fan, a Philadelphia fan, New York, you can't stand New York. And you know how New Yorkers like to talk. We went to college around New Yorkers. Yeah, we're from Brooklyn. New York and all that other stuff. And that was the hard part as a fan, is that, at New York, after all these years, they hadn't won anything since the 60s, since the 70s and whatnot. And you gotta play those guys. And that's the thing that, I just hope the Sixers are fired up on Thursday night. They got to come back. They got to come back in this series. And I think they can. I still think they can win the series. But guys like Tobias and some of the other guys, I mean, I think Nick Batum played well. I mean, a lot. Those guys have to step up in this series. I mean, Tobias, I thought, played some pretty good defense at times. I thought he played well in spots. But you got to play well for the whole 48 minutes. And Joel Embiid in the fourth quarter, I want to see Joel Embiid. I mean, Maxey did it. Maxey took over in the fourth quarter. Maxey hit some big shots in the fourth quarter. He just did. And he played like the clutch ball player that he is. I like to see, Joel do this in the playoffs. I'm not saying Joel is not capable of it, but he's got to do this in the playoffs. And I'm not hating there's one of my fans who says that I hate on Joel Embiid. I'm not hating on Joel Embiid. Am I critical of Joel Embiid? That's not haterade. You don't define being critical as haterade. But when you say, look, bruh, we expect more out of you. We expect a lot out of you. We want you to, and I know where he is in terms of his injury, but it's the same song every year. And I think what fans are waiting for is for him to step his. I mean, he's good at 34 points is nothing to slouch at. Don't get it twisted.
Agreed.
But I like to see him be more of an intimidating presence in the low post on defense. And I want to see some of the other guys step up and hit, because hit those threes, but play defense. And they've got to get better on defensive rebounds. They got to block people. They got to box people out. They got to block out. They've got to keep the Knicks off the glass. They're getting New York is getting too many second chance shots in this series, and they've got to stop that at some point.
Well, Chris, when I tell you, so I missed last night's game, but I heard so much about it today from everywhere, from everybody. From everybody. Yes. I want to share what our family members are saying before I ask you my question. I love, like, Michelle White shares, she was heartbroken when the Sixers lost, but she believes they still have a shot, and she is not giving up on her Sixers. I know that's right. I know that. And Malcolm shares, as a New Yorker, as a native New Yorker, he's torn when it comes to that rivalry. Malcolm. But he shares that he thinks the fix was with the gamblers. Now, listen.
He thinks the fix was in. That's interesting.
Let me tell you, but I heard that so much today. And it's funny that you mentioned Spike Lee and Stephen A. Smith, because I saw an article or something. Stephen A. Smith, he was all over it. He said the refs robbed the Sixers with a no-call play.
They did.
But it was giving that from every comment that I heard. Everybody was saying, David, hey there, brother Dave. He shares Nick Nurse has to play the rest of his bench. He has to play Campaign, Mo Bamba, and Ricky Council. Buddy Held and Tobias Harris are killing us.
Yeah.
I
mean, Buddy missed a bunny and everything, and he hit some shots, and Tobias, I want to see consistency. We got to see consistency out of him, in these games. I'm not saying Tobias. I've never been one to hate on or to be, I'm critical of Tobias Harris. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think what fans are asking of him, be consistent, son. You got to be consistent. You gotta be consistent. I don't get that. And I just feel like he has to just play better, more consistently. He's got to hit some shots. He's got to hit some mid-range shots. I mean, there were times the Sixers led for most of the game, and it just, it's just like that old, song by Paul, slip, slide in the way. It just slipped away.
So would you say there was validity to the point that the refs took the game? Yes. Would you say there's some validity to that?
Given the proliferation of gambling, I can say yes, but I don't have any proof. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, the fix was in, but something with the proliferation of gambling sites and all this other stuff, this is going to come up. Because I heard somewhere where I think some player got yelled at. I'm trying to think who it was, for basically got yelled at by a fan who said, dude, you messed up my, you ruined my bet. and everything. This is what I try. I can't remember where I heard it from, but I heard somebody say that. And the thing about it, see, that's why I don't gamble. I just want to enjoy the sport as is. I don't want to put any money on it and all that. I want to play any over-unders or whatever. It's just that, this is going to happen. It's going to happen in football. It's going to happen in every sport. Everybody's going to say, well, man, maybe the fix was in and all this other stuff. And, we could have another Black Sox scandal and whatnot. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But, and remember, there was a scandal with a referee almost a few years ago. But, with all the proliferation of gambling sites, what does it call it? DraftKings and all these other, all these sports betting sites. It's almost like, like people are going to say that whether it's true or not, that's always going to be this when you have a game that comes out like that, because the Knicks scored 8 points in the space of 20 seconds. And when you see that, people are going to say the fixes. And this is why I always say when games should not come down to ref calls. That's why I believe in beating the stuffing out of a team so that the refs have nothing to do with it. That it doesn't come down to the referee. You got to control what you can control. And I think the Sixers, I still say the Sixers can win this series, but they've got to come out hard in game 3 and game 4.
What? They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice
to the
at
wall.
all. Yes. Yeah. Wait, Malcolm. Oh, I see your comment. Malcolm shares, Chris, Carol, I am Philly raised. Okay. Just to be clear. He just wants us to know he's a native New Yorker, but he is Philly raised.
You're a native New Yorker.
Yeah, I know. I was love that song. So, Chris, I was reading some thing. Well, as I do, I'm always reading something, and there were some headlines today. I don't know what happened with Rudy Gobert, but the headline read, "Why do so many players have beef with Rudy Gobert?"
That's because of physical play. He's a physical player, and people don't like him, and that's how that goes and whatnot. That's the league. It's a competitive league. People are going to come out and people are going to challenge you, and some guy. It's like Dennis Rodman back in the day. Dennis Rodman, was probably a physical player, and the greatest role player ever. The greatest guy, the greatest role player, and he got on people's nerves. He just got on folks' nerves. And sometimes if a guy gets on your nerves, that he's getting you out of your game, and you can't let a guy, you can't let anybody. That's the fundamental, rule of trash talk. Is that you use trash talk to get a guy not thinking, get him out of his game, and then he's so mad at you, he might commit a foul, do something stupid, get tossed out of the game, and that's the only thing. I haven't followed a lot of the Western teams, but if he were on your squad, you'd love him. That's the thing,
right?
If he's like Draymond Green. If he's on your team, you love him. That's like Rodman, or when the Sixers had Rick Mahorn. Those guys were.
We love them.
Right. They were physical players. I like the Bad Boys, the Pistons back in the late 80s, early 90s and whatnot, because they intimidated teams. Between Lambeer and when Rick Mahorn was with, and Rick Mahorn, all those guys with Detroit. It's the same thing. These guys, they were like, and they were bullies. In hockey, the Philadelphia loved the Broad Street Bullies in the 70s. They like those. You need, and you know what? When I think about the current Sixers, they need an enforcer. out there. They need somebody to keep people off of Maxey and Embiid. They need somebody to go. I mean, I'm sorry, you got the thing that I'm questioning about the Sixers right now is that, there's got to be somebody on that team that's just got to be the one that, look, don't worry, you and Embiid, you and Maxey score and whatnot. I'm gonna knock out the other guy.
But he also has to be able to play well. Look,
to play well. Yeah.
He has to be able to play well. See, I used to love going to the games. They were so entertaining for all of those reasons. The games were just entertaining. They weren't violent. It wasn't that. There was just trash talking, and I just like to see it. I just enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it because now let me add to this as well, because it was fun, and you could see that the players were having fun with one another. And that's what made it enjoyable and entertaining when I would go to the games and when I would watch. And I don't find the same enjoyment nowadays. I just don't find this. Half of the players don't look like they like each other. let alone. But
you got a bigger contract than me.
Yeah, exactly.
You drive a Benz and I drive a Mazda. I don't know. That
so much of the entertainment has been taken out of it for me. Family. You all know how I get so carried away. And here I am once again, especially when Chris is here. I get carried away. It's time for us to take a commercial break, but stay with us. When we come back, Nick, I hope you're going to join this conversation when we come back. So stay with us because we will be right back.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. Word's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent job openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. The Public Health Management Corporation is hiring for several exciting roles, including youth case managers, a behavioral health coordinator, and a part-time youth ally. For more information on these jobs and others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative, brought to you by Word Radio. Progressive Black Talk Media.
The Pennsylvania Lottery's $160 million cash blowout scratch-off will have you ready to step up your A game. A little birdie told me you could have a chance to win top prizes of $3 million. Pick up the Pennsylvania Lottery's $160 million cash blowout scratch-off for the ultimate hole-in-one. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling? Helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thinking about quitting tobacco? It's easier when you have help. The PA Tobacco Quit Line is ready with free coaching, medication, and more to help you quit for good. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW to get started. Or visit smokefreephilly.org to learn more about judgment-free support and free medications that triple your chance of success. The PA Tobacco Quit Line is free, it's confidential, and it works.
How y'all doing? This is Wynton Marcellus, urging you to please support Jazz Appreciation Month. We're going to try to make Jazz Appreciation Month into Jazz Appreciation Decade.
Jazz, born in America and enjoyed worldwide. For more information, visit www.smithsonianjazz.org.
Long nose, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. In this hour, we are doing what we normally do now these days. On Tuesdays, we're talking with our beloved Chris Murray, and we're talking about all things sports. I do want to share, Michelle, I saw your message in response to what I was talking about with Malcolm. That's right. Michelle shared Carol was going to get you. I was going to get you, Malcolm. I was going to get you. Talking about Philly and New York. I was. Our love light, Raphael Suleiman, is joining us. He's sending a good evening to everyone. And our love light, Joanne Kemp, shares that one of Dennis Rodman's daughters has set some records with the women's soccer team. I had no idea. No idea. How about that? No idea. Brother David, he shares Joel Embiid needs to get down low in the box. He plays too far out. He is too big to always be hanging around the 3-point line. He needs to be an enforcer. He needs an enforcer beside him. And we had one in Marcus Morris Sr., but the Sixers traded Marcus away, which is part of the problem. But Sixers,
I wasn't happy about that trade. I agree with him. I wasn't happy about that trade. I mean, like I said, you need somebody. Like I said, you need somebody that's going to kick some butt, man. That's going to go in and be physical and let people know that, you know, we see you, we ain't scared of you, and we gonna fight you. I mean, that's the thing. And I was perplexed by that trade, but oh well, I guess they need some people. But I liked him there. I mean, I just liked it. I like Marcus Morris, man. He's just, you know, I mean, he got the key to the city. Why did we trade a guy? We gave him the key to the city.
We always do.
We always. I mean, nobody represents the toughness of Philly the way Marcus Morris did, and nobody represents the city's toughness like that. And you know, they did what they did. But I just think at the end of the day, though, I mean, I was going to suggest maybe, you know, if I could ever do it on my show, I was going to play the Reverend Leon Lottie Love. Everything gonna be all right for Martin. Be all right. Because Philly needs that. Philly needs that kind of. The Sixers, the city needs that kind of cheering up. It's funny though, but be all right. They do this little backward dance. Everything gonna be all right.
Chris, you are hilarious. Nick, now you know I always ask you to join the conversation. I always welcome you to do so. But it's been a minute since you have talked with us about sports. Did you watch the game last night?
I saw. Hey, Carol. Hey, Chris. I saw.
What's up, Nick?
Just about the everything that happened in the fourth. And I was pretty surprised that the Sixers couldn't bring it home, to be honest with you, because, I mean, both teams are playing their hearts out. But the Sixers, I felt like Maxey was really on fire, and so was Embiid. I'm lost here. I don't know what to say about this, because the fact that the Knicks were able to get those last, what was it, 4 points, last 8 points?
8 points in 20 seconds.
I don't know what kind of what Disney movie I'm watching for New York, but it doesn't. I can't even remember the last time I've seen something like that. That blew my mind. That was crazy. I don't know what kind of. I don't know what kind of magic sports betting does to players, but I think we're experiencing it. At least we saw it last night, because that was wild. I agree with you, Chris. So I think this team really does need an enforcer, and I feel like there was somebody that we traded. I think was his name PJ Tucker. Am I saying his name right?
That was. Oh, I know. I talking when Allen Iverson was here.
No. We had him. We probably had him like a year or two ago. He came from Miami. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now.
Okay. I think it was PJ. I think it was PJ Tucker. It was.
I felt like PJ could have been, was a okay enforcer, at least somebody who could take up that role. But I mean, looking at the point spread yesterday, our boy Tobias out there, people say he's not consistent, but he consistently disappoints me personally. I feel like
you gotta be consistent at something, and that's it.
That's it. I feel like consistently every single year we talk about him, and every year we go, "Why is Tobias Harris on this team?" And I don't mean to bring the guy down or anything, but I wish that we could see more from him, because we know that he has the potential, and we've already seen this season that Maxey can step up. Now Maxey's 23 years old. He's got all kinds of energy. He can do whatever he wants right now. He could probably jump to the moon if he wanted to. But Tobias, I think he's 30 or 31 now. I think he's a little bit older than Embiid. I don't know if he could play that role as enforcer, but we need him to do something, because if he's not going to be a high scorer, then he needs to be out there and be physical and find a way to mess up the other team without giving them fouls. Because that's what we need.
Score.
That's what he needs to do.
He's capable of scoring, and he needs to do that. He needs to be that. Somebody needs to be the third guy. I mean, I like Kelly Oubre is just trying to do it too.
Yeah.
And they probably need a little bit more from Kelly Oubre, but I think Kelly Oubre is not for a lack of me. Kelly Oubre is capable of doing it. We've seen him do it, but the guys, but they've got to play defense. They've got to be physical especially when the Knicks miss a shot. They got to get to the rebound. They've got to limit those second chance points. And that's what happened. That's part of what happened down the stretch last night, Monday night. Well, it was last night. Yeah, good Lord. I'm thinking I'm in Wednesday by now. But hey, I've been that kind of tired. But
I overstand.
Yeah. So I just kind of felt in one respect. Now, the Sixers were kind of unfortunate. I mean, it was a combination of bad luck, some poor execution, bad officiating. The officiating was horrible in that game, and and I don't like to blame the officials. Let me say that I don't like to blame the officials for anything. I spent the whole decade with my wife arguing Tom Brady and the Tuck rule, and I said, well, Denise, the Raiders did have 59 other minutes to win the game and all that other stuff. But, and she was like, no, that's not true. Nothing I can say. But because she's a Raiders fan. And so I just feel like a lot of times in these games, you don't want the officiating, but but you got to say it. The officiating was just bad every time. I mean, when there was one play where Jalen, good Lord, why am I having a senior moment? There was one play where the New York Knicks point guard basically pushed off. I mean, he pushed off. It was a blatant push off. It was to quote Charles Barkley, it was terrible. I mean, it was a terrible, and the refs did not call it, and it just made it. It was Jalen Brunson. I'm sorry, Lord. I mean, Jalen Brunson pushed off. He threw his elbow, and it was like, yo, and they were calling it on against the Sixers. They called everything against the Sixers in that game, and it was just like, come on, man. I mean, I don't like to see games come down to the officiating, and you can say, hey, it came down to this or that. Maybe, like in the LS and the UConn Iowa game, there was a moving screen. At first I saw it. Yeah, it should not have been. Yeah, it was. I said it shouldn't have been called, but on further review, yeah, it was a good call. But sometimes, sometimes the refs let that go at parts of the game, and if it's not consistent, like the Super Bowl, like in the Super Bowl where they called that holding call on James on a passing interference call on James Bradbury, and and throughout the whole game they didn't call it. They waited until that moment. Now, when that happens, what can you do about that? But that's why you gotta play. That's why you have to take care of what you can take care of in the game. You just can't. I don't like games coming down to the ref. And the thing is, when there was a point Kyle Lowry missed that second free throw, all that stuff is important. You got to hit your free throws. You got to hit, if you can hit most of them, you're cooking with gas. And the thing is, you got to take advantage of those plays, but you got to rebound the ball. And the Sixers, in my opinion, on the offensive side, did a poor job of that late in the game. They played 47 good minutes. They hung in there for 47 minutes. I mean, and the thing about it, if we look at, I'm trying to find stats for offensive boards and all that. I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to basically take care of what you can take care of. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You can't depend upon the refs. You got to play your game, because if you're spending all this time, and that was the one thing that bothered me about the Sixers last night, was that Yeah, the calls were legitimate calls. They were legitimately right to complain, but sometimes complain about the refs calls can take you out of your game. And that's something that you don't want to do. And you got to just keep, you got to keep in the game, so to speak. And that's where, like I said, both teams had the same amount of rebounds, defense had the same amount, but basically, the Knicks had 12 offensive rebounds and won it to the Sixers 10. To me, that's unacceptable. You can't let them, get second chance points. And second chance points will kill you. And it killed them last night. And that's just, that's just the way that works. But the thing is, take care of because you can't control the officials' calls. You can't, I'm surprised Nick Nurse didn't get technical last night. At least I didn't see it in the first half. But I'm surprised that he didn't get a second because had it been me, with all the calls that were being missed and whatnot, it was just like it's a wonder that he didn't get thrown out of the game.
So you feel like the Sixers lost focus because of the calls being made by the officials, or do you
partially?
Okay,
it's a combination of everything. Partially, I think it's a combination of everything. Bad luck. Jalen Brunson's ball is bouncing up on a 3-point bucket. That ball bounces out. That's a rebound for the Sixers. They have to foul, and Sixers add to that point total. But it was just a lot of things. And what they got to do on Thursday is like, look, we have Thursday. I think they play Thursday or Wednesday. I think they play Wednesday. They got to they've got to file they got to file that just to throw the film out and just come out guns a-blazing when they come down. When they come down on for Game 3. That's going to be the thing. They got to basically come out and just do
they
better.
have to play.
You
Better.
You can't let the game get out. You just got to play better. You got to be more physical on the boards. You got to do everything right, and you got to come out with some smoke. And I want to see Embiid come out with some smoke. I want to see him come out in the playoff game and say, "Look, just throw the ball on low post. I'll kill everybody else. You just set picks and do whatever." But basically, Joel Embiid has to take over a game. I want to see him just like, in the fourth quarter, forget all this jump shot stuff. I'm taking it right down. I want you to know I'm going to tell you I'm coming. All right? I'm going
to show you, right? Look, I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me ask you this. How do you feel he's looking physically?
He's still not. He's playing well on some level, but he's not where I think he is, where he wants to be.
Where we want him to be. Say that again. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying that he's not where he needs to be. I don't think he's totally in shape yet. He's getting there, but I don't see it as totally in shape. But guys got to help him too. They got to, if the guys are hitting jump shots, then that frees up some space and he can do his thing. But there were times where I thought he mishandled the ball. He gets the ball. Sometimes he gets it. The ball is easily taken from him. He's still got to work on his ball handling skills in the low post. That's the thing that frightens me about Joel Embiid, is that if he can learn that part of his game and to stay physical and be an intimidating presence, he has to say, this is my house. He's got to pull a Deion Sanders. This is my house.
Does he have the backbone? Does he have the backbone?
Yeah, he got the backbone. He should. I think he does.
You think so?
Well, who Embiid?
Yeah.
I think he could have it. He should. I've seen it, but not everybody. But he needs that. He needs to carry this team. He needs to be a carrier. One thing I always liked about Ryan Howard when he played with the Phillies, the big guy, hit all the home runs. Ryan Howard could carry a team. He's like, look, I'm putting y'all on my back, and any ball down the plate, it's out of the park, even before he comes out of his arms. Even before the pitchers throw the ball, that ball's in left field in the seats, or right field seats. You gotta have that, man. You gotta have that mentality. Give me the ball, I will score. You box out, play defense, do it, but give me the ball. and I'll do the rest and whatnot. I'll tell y'all what to do. But you know, this guy, I don't know. You know, he's got to have the mentality of which one is the referee, because I'm gonna kill the other guy. That's the mentality that he's got to take. Which one of y'all the referee? Him? All right. Well, I'm gonna jump on you. Slam. That's what he has to do.
You better be rough and stuff with your Afro puffs. I heard you.
That's
I heard
right.
you.
That's right.
I see.
Let Lady of Rage ring the bell. Yeah.
Right.
Let her ring the bell.
I see most of the comments I saw were about the officials. Brother David shares the officials were horrible. The Sixers have protested that game, which lets you know just how lopsided the calls were. Malcolm shares, I hear you, Chris. They have got to stay focused. Brother David follows his comment by sharing that we also miss Andre Drummond. He was a dominant rebounder, and we lack a great rebounder. That was interesting as well. Brother Dixon, Joey Dixon, that is joining us, and he's sending love to everybody. One love and jazz to the entire family. It's time for us to take a commercial break. When we come back, Chris, I read some other things in the news today, and I want to ask you your opinion about these things. They're sports and entertainment related. So I'm going to pick your brain for a moment, all right? When we come back from this commercial break, so family, stay with us because we're coming right back.
Be sure to tune in to the Electric Magazine with Vera Martin, Saturdays, 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. on WURD, 900 a.m. and 96.1 FM. Progressive Black Talk Media.
I want you to imagine for a moment you're in a hospital. You are the patient connected to an IV bag. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, endless pokes, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine experiencing all of these things and you're only a child. This is why Starlight exists, to bring happiness to hospitalized children through programs that help kids cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Programs like gaming, virtual reality headsets, toy deliveries, radio flyer wagons, and cozy hospital gowns are just a few of the ways Starlight eases a child's hospital stay. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
Hey, Word listeners, this is Dara Elise Lyons
and Malcolm Burnley. In addition to being occasional guests and guest hosts on Word Radio, we created the On Being Biracial podcast, a discussion of topics related to the experiences of multiracial people in Philadelphia and beyond.
On Thursday, April 25th, Word is hosting a free in-person event with a panel discussion, free appetizers, and the opportunity to talk about race, identity, and community in a safe and supportive space.
This event will take place at Temple University's Tuttleman Learning Center, located at 1809 North 13th Street. Space is limited and registration is required, so go to wordradio.com/OBB to reserve your spot now.
And while you're waiting for the event, feel free to listen to the On Being Biracial podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
This event is made possible with support from the Philadelphia Journalism Collaborative. Once again, register today at wordradio.com/OBB.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Family, welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. So during the commercial break, Chris shared with me that he was reading a story. So we've got breaking. I've got to get my sound bites up. So we've got breaking.
Here's what Gina Mizell from the Philadelphia Inquirer. She put this story up about a couple hours ago. She said NBA admits, this is the headline in the Philadelphia Inquirer. NBA admits several officiating errors in the final 2 minutes of the Game 2 loss to the Sixers. The NBA is admitting it. They are admitting it, okay? And so one of the things that she writes, the league's last 2-minute report determined that Sixers guard Tyrese Maxey was fouled twice while trying to secure a crucial inbound pass. And there was more, and what have you. There was more. I mean, they also admitted that Nick Nurse, remember when he was calling for a timeout and didn't get the timeout? Mm-hmm. They admit that he should have gotten that timeout.
So, okay, so here we are. We're in the playoffs. What happens in a case like this? Is it just, it's just a conversation or a discussion at this point?
Well, if anything, you're embarrassing the officials, but it's not going to change the outcome of the game. I'm going to tell you that now.
Well, no, not the outcome of the game, but moving forward.
The refs better do a better job, or they won't be in there officiating. And basically, and Nick Nurse, there was also one time where Jalen Brunson pulls Maxey's jersey away from his body to affect Maxey's ability to secure the pass from Kyle Lowry. I mean, he tackled him. It was an open field tackle. It would have been ruled a holding penalty, and they'd have gotten 15 yards in the NFL. They would have got. I mean, that, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll calm down in my more calm voice, my calm black middle class voice. I will calm down.
Okay.
Now, so from that standpoint, the officiating was bad, and I'm interested to hear what the people on Facebook are saying about this, because that was a bad call.
Oh, they are.
Like I said, you got this is where you got to control the game. You want to keep the officials out. Y'all want to make bad calls? We're gonna beat y'all. Swish, swish, swish. Whether you have bad calls or not, and. And it's almost like somebody throwing a snowball at you and then saying my bad, even though they knew they was wrong for throwing a snowball at you. Oh, my bad, man. I didn't know the snowball was gonna splat all in your face. Yeah, baby. Deuces. Okay, I got you, homie.
All right. Well, okay. So I did share with you before the commercial break. Thank you for that, Chris, by the way. I shared with you before the commercial break that I wanted to pick your brain. Okay. Nothing deep. Read today that American Airlines is offering nonstop flights to Brazil for the Eagles game. Are you going?
Well, certain people are going to pay, people who shall be nameless, pay for my hotel room and my room. Boy, I'd love to go to Brazil. I have to take my wife with me.
That's right. You'd better. I don't think Denise would let you get on that plane, as she should not, if she is not included in this trip.
Yeah, okay? Yeah. I got to bring her with me, because I heard Brazil is wild and whatnot, and I ain't. I'm like I say, I got arthritis and all that. And I'd rather spend time with my wife and whatnot. But yeah, man. I mean, like I say, if somebody wants to foot the bill, I am a freelance writer.
I hear that.
You want to hook a brother up by help me with my passport and all this other stuff. You want to hook me up, hook the brothers up.
Well, I will share. The article reads that the first flight will take off on September 5th, and then the second will bring fans home on September 7th. Okay. Malcolm shares, you better stay out of trouble in Brazil. He said, you better stay out of trouble. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk with you about. The second of which, speaking of mixing apples with oranges, football and what have you, I read today that Kevin Hart is going to roast Tom Brady in a live Netflix special. Did you see that?
I've heard about that. I don't know. I'll watch just to see. I mean, I don't. I guess he's going to talk about that Super Bowl that the Eagles actually beat them in, but I just think that, I mean, that's fine. People want to watch it. You want to roast Tom Brady. It would be funny. I Kevin Hart is okay. He's all right. I don't think he's uproariously funny. I use that word right. Uproariously funny. And what I think he's all right. He's funny. He's funny, but he's not like, take the house. He ain't Richard Pryor. But then again, that's a bad comparison because nobody rich and nobody that rich.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna be daddy rich. But I'm just saying that okay, I like to see it just for giggles, just the curiosity out of the show. Kind of on all the lines of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson and whatnot.
I have absolutely no desire to see that. But let me ask you this.
Fight.
Do you typically have an interest in these roasting events? Do you typically have an interest in
Not
them?
really. Not really.
Me neither. I just feel like why this seems like a waste of money to me. Honestly, it just really does. This could be a YouTube clip.
Yeah, I mean it's more so for that. I don't know. I don't mind sports and entertainment and whatnot. I mean, it's okay if it's done right, but I have absolutely no interest in seeing. All due respect to Kevin Hart, he's a Philly guy. He's been very successful. I mean, but and I can't argue with him and all that. He's been fun. I mean, he's funny in spots and whatnot. He's funny. He's funny enough to be successful at it, and he's good. And that's not haterade. It's just it doesn't move me in the way some other comedians do. But but he has his time. He has his moments. I laugh. I see some of his movies and whatnot.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm in agreement with you. I mean, no. I love Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. But my comment was more about the event itself because the article reads that it will be Kevin Hart along with several other comedians who are going to roast Tom Brady in a Netflix special, in a live Netflix special. I just never really understood those events. Just the purpose of the roasting event.
Well, the thing about in the 70s, they used to have this thing called Dean Martin Celebrity Roast. Some of those things were funny because you had some of the greatest comedians of the world the legends of that time. And some of it was funny because they chose Muhammad Ali and all this other stuff. And Ali thought it was funny. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought it was, it was in good. Those celebrity roasts back in the day, because I was a kid, and they were funny, like this guy, Red Buttons, he would say somebody somebody unknown, never gave a dinner, that kind of thing. I mean, and of course, you had Flip Wilson and Richard Pryor was on there every so often and whatnot. I mean, but you had a lot of sketch comics that were really good. I mean,
they were really creative.
Right. They were creative and they were funny. I mean, Don Rickles could make fun of any ethnic group and he would make it funny. And could you think he would survive in this day and age? No.
See, that's but that's what I'm saying. Like the entertainment of yesteryear, like those were entertaining. I don't see the purpose of these. I just don't. I don't see the purpose of them. Last thing I want to ask you about before we shut down for this evening is about the Chicago White Sox. I read an article saying that they could set a record. They could lose 120 games. They've only had 3 wins in their first 22 games this season.
And the Phillies would like to have them hang around for the rest of the season. If they could play the rest of their games against the White Sox, they'll win the division. Unfortunately, you can't play. I mean, you got to beat sorry teams, and that's fine. If the White Sox want to be bad, the Phillies will invite them. Phillies will pay for their hotel room.
By all means. By all means. Harold joined the conversation. He's showing his age, but those roasts were funny back in the day. And Malcolm shares, and they were drunk as all get out.
Oh, yeah, they were. Oh, my God.
They were.
Especially Dean really Martin.
Were. Oh, my God. And we love Dean Martin. Oh, my goodness. Right. It was just so interesting. Family. It's the time of the night that I hate. But it's time for us to bid you adieu. Here we are. Chris, thank you as always.
Thank you for having me, Carol. I always appreciate it.
As always, we look forward to talking with you again next week, and we thank you for stopping by. Family praising God, from whom all blessings flow. Just asking that you pray for someone, pray for everyone, actually, but pray for your loved ones, pray for your enemies, pray for those in need, if you will. I want to thank all of our guests for sharing their time, energy, attention, information, spirit, and space. And I thank you as well. Special thanks to the entire Word family, especially Nick and Niall, for all that you do. Happy birthday once again to all of our love lights who are celebrating. Family, remember, we are all in this together. So please be good to you, but be good to those around you. I love you so much, but God loves you so much more. Please be careful as you go to and fro out there. Have a great rest of your night. And be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for another edition of Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night. Have a good night.